Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 Eyewitness News at 5.
Thousands call for a UNL fraternity to be removed after a reported rape. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. As you just saw in that video, UNL students are fired up after a sexual assault was reported in the first week back to class.
A late-night protest brought several hundreds of people to protest outside Phi Gamma Delta. Channel 8's Jael Pembroke has all the details.
Parents and students tell me they are shaken up after a rape incident was reported to have occurred at this house on Monday, the first day of school at UNL. And Tuesday night, hundreds of students protested to remove Phi Gamma Delta, or Fiji fraternity, from UNL, shouting for justice as the fraternity is under investigation for the recent allegation and is already on probation for previous violations. No peace, no. UNL Chancellor Ronnie Green announced they are closing the Fiji house while the case is under investigation, saying, "We are closing the fraternity house and suspending operations of the Fiji chapter while this investigation is ongoing, due to potential violations of that probation. This is the responsible action to take for everyone involved." An uncle chose to visit his niece, who is in a sorority, and says she's shaken up after a sleepless night.
I feel heartbroken because of all they went through last year. You know, they're all under a lot of stress, I think, and they're going back to school for the first time, you know, try to be normal.
A student says she plans to be a part of another protest tonight.
I heard the university isn't handling it the best, and they're just not holding the people accountable, maybe fully as they should for what they've been doing. And I just think that's sad, because like if you do something, especially at that degree, that's really hurting someone that way, you need to be held accountable for your actions.
Now there's reportedly another protest to happen tonight. We will keep you updated with any more information. Reporting in Lincoln, Jael Pembroke for Nebraska's trusted news source.
And while the local chapter is working with police, we did reach out to the National Phi Gamma Delta chapter and did not get a response for this story. Do you know 1 out of every 3 people have been sexually assaulted?
For victims of sexual assault, there is help and resources available.
From the time somebody reports a sexual assault to law enforcement to the time of prosecution and getting through the sentencing, it's about 18 months in Lancaster County. So somebody who's wanting to put this behind them is like, okay, how do I process this? What can I do?
Voices of Hope, a Lincoln nonprofit, has a 24-hour crisis line that you can call and talk to a counselor. The state also allows anonymous reporting if you don't feel comfortable sharing personal details. They just want everyone to know that you're not alone.
All right, let's get to your first forecast now. Malcolm's in for John. A hot one today, but not quite as hot as yesterday, right?
Right. Yesterday we hit a high temperature of 99 degrees. So far we've only gotten up to the upper 80s to around 90 in Lincoln. We did have one weather watcher report a high temperature of 93 degrees in Lincoln. So generally in the ballpark of the low 90s. And we were much cooler than where we were yesterday compared to this time 24 hours ago, about 6 degrees cooler. But overall it felt a little bit nicer. But when you factor in the humidity, it feels just a couple degrees warmer. 90 degrees the current temperature right now in Lincoln. 96 though the feels like temperature. 97 in Hebron, 95 Beatrice. Dry across southeast Nebraska at the moment, but earlier on today there were actually some showers and thunderstorms. Thunder may have woken you up last night, and we had a couple scattered showers into the early morning hours. Those moved off towards Beatrice and in towards Kansas. We have since remained dry. Coming up in just a couple minutes, we're going to have an updated check of where our rain totals stand across southeast Nebraska. As we broaden out the view, there are a couple of showers and thunderstorms off towards the northwest. It looks like those are going to remain off towards the northwest, however. So your forecast over the next several hours, probably in the upper 80s to around 90 by 6 o'clock, staying mostly clear for the rest of this evening with temperatures in the 80s. Now for tomorrow, we do have a heat advisory in effect because temperatures are going to keep going back up once again. Goes into effect around 1 o'clock tomorrow and will remain in effect until 8 o'clock. High temperatures are going to continue to climb as we go towards tomorrow afternoon, perhaps in the upper 90s once again. How hot might it feel? We'll have the answer coming up in just a couple minutes.
All right, Malcolm, thank you very much for keeping us updated. Now let's get to your coronavirus news this evening. A reminder, the mask mandate in Lancaster County begins right after midnight tonight.
Douglas County asked the state yesterday for a mask mandate and was told no. Nebraska's chief medical officer wrote a letter. He says under the current circumstances, imposing restrictions on every individual at a district level is not appropriate. The Douglas County health director says she was just trying to protect local families and kids.
The nurses who are broken from a year and a half of witnessing serious sickness and death and are now still showing up totally broken and caring for the public, even though the public doesn't even care anymore. Our kids deserve protection and they deserve an education. Our families deserve protection.
Omaha's Mayor Gene Stothert also came out against the mask mandate. The city had one in place August 2020 through May of this year.
And 2 days after the Pfizer vaccine was granted full FDA approval, top U.S. health officials say critical progress is being made in the vaccination rates.
Today, Moderna announced it submitted for full approval for its vaccine as well. Mandy Gaither has more on that.
From coast to coast, COVID-19 cases, hospitalizations, and deaths continue to rise. But so does the number of those rolling up their sleeves, especially in states that had been lagging in vaccinations.
More and more Americans are stepping up each day to get vaccinated.
Top U.S. health officials say the FDA's full approval of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine this week is a key milestone that will help get more shots in arms. Moderna just announced it too has submitted to the FDA for full approval of its vaccine. To improve vaccine effectiveness against the Delta variant, Pfizer and Moderna are also hoping for authorization of a booster shot. And Johnson & Johnson says new data shows people who received a booster 6 to 8 months after their initial J&J shot saw antibodies increase 9-fold than with a single dose.
The time to get vaccinated is now.
A new LA County study published by the CDC finds that as of late July, the unvaccinated had 5 times more COVID-19 infections and 29 times more hospitalizations than the fully vaccinated.
These data remind us that if you are not yet vaccinated, you are among those highest at risk.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The CDC study also says those who are fully vaccinated reduce their risk of severe illness from the Delta variant by 2/3 compared to those not being vaccinated at all. Well, still ahead on Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
You may have noticed some of the things you love to pack for your kids' lunches have been in short supply at the grocery store.
We'll explain right after the break.
During the Labor Day sale at Furniture Row, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Plus 7 years no interest and free shipping right to your door. Don't miss the Labor Day sale. On now at Furniture Row.
If you are driven by versatility or driven by recreation, Duteau Subaru is driven by you. Right now at Duteau, lease a 2022 Subaru Outback for only $299 per month. Hurry, inventory is limited. If you're not finding what you're looking for, contact us to reserve an in-transit vehicle or special order the car you've been dreaming of.
Become part of the Duteau family today. Online anytime at DuteauSubaru.com.
We fix basements.
We fix basements.
We fix basements.
We fix basements.
We fix basements. At Ep Foundation Repair, we've been fixing basements for over 25 years. Give us a call or go to wefixbasements.com to learn more.
When you need an expert on quality and proven exterior work, whether you're doing commercial or residential, Stonebrick Exterior is the area's premier contractor. Call Stonebrick Exterior today.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I've never been more ready in my life.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-JUNK.
We'll be there before you hang up the phone.
Did you know that 178 million Americans are missing at least one tooth?
It's true.
That's why at Affordable Dentures and Implants, we only focus on tooth replacement solutions.
Whether it's a single tooth, full dentures, or dental implants, we have an experienced dentist who can create a new smile just for you.
At a price that's affordable.
Because at Affordable Dentures and Implants, we want you to
go ahead and smile.
Welcome to the Woodlands at Hillcrest, a premier senior living community offering both assisted living and memory care services. Schedule your personalized experience at the Woodlands at Hillcrest today.
Ready for this?
1, 2, 3, up.
At Madonna Rehabilitation Hospitals, we measure our success in the breakthroughs we help our patients make. So when some might say, I can't, at Madonna we work hard to say, now you can. Visit Madonna.org.
The Kia of Lincoln Summer Dream Sales Event continues with incredible savings store-wide. Now it's time for you to let the Kia of Lincoln team help you put your dream in your driveway. Kia of Lincoln, 1145 North 48th Street. Always open at kiaoflincoln.com.
It's the Labor Day sale at Denver Mattress. And right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Take $100 off every $1,000 you spend. Save up to $200 on our Doctor's Choice lineup, plus 7 years no interest and free shipping.
Now to a consumer alert about those supermarket shortages affecting back-to-school grocery shopping.
Yeah, what does this shortage mean for parents prepping school lunches and snacks? ABC's Rebecca Jarvis has more.
If you're thinking of keeping your favorite foods in supply like they do in Netflix's The Chair,
she doesn't cook.
I guess I'm making you some eggs then.
Think again. The fight to keep store shelves filled with many popular brands is on. According to the Wall Street Journal, some grocers are struggling to keep some items in stock, from kid-favored frozen waffles to certain beverages to lunchtime staple Lunchables.
In the 50 years I've been in the business right now, we've never seen the markets like they are today. They're wild.
Kraft Heinz says it is seeing an all-time high demand for our brands, including Lunchables, which it says is seeing double-digit growth for the first time in 5 years. The company telling ABC News it has increased production to full demand and is working fast and furiously to get more product into the hands of consumers as soon as possible. In the meantime, as demand outpaces supply, the CEO of Stu Leonard's says they're coming up with their own solutions.
Lobster is probably at a record high right now as far as the price per pound, and lobster rolls are a big hit. One of the things we've done is done a shrimp roll right now.
According to FMI, a national trade association for the food industry, demand pressures have not returned to pre-pandemic levels, telling ABC News that a combination of factors, including shortages of materials and ingredients, labor, and transportation, will continue to be disruptive and will create an uneven supply chain recovery. But we ask that shoppers hold on as we continue to recalibrate. And according to market research firm IRI, monthly sales are up 3% from a year ago and nearly 14% from August 2019. They say the change is consumers dining in more and eating out less.
So many behaviors changed during the pandemic, and that's kind of what we're experiencing. There's a lot more confidence in the kitchen. We have a whole new generation of cooks out there who like it. They get more of exactly what they want. They take great pride in it.
But before you start panic shopping, stocking up on supplies like meat, milk, and toilet paper, as you may have last year, remember this.
People are able to go and fulfill their list. I don't think we're going to go back to that big stock up panic shopping that we experienced in the spring of 2020.
And if you've been to the store recently, you may have noticed it is pumpkin spice everything. With fall still officially 28 days away, retailers are rolling out their seasonal products earlier than ever. Annual sales of pumpkin spice flavored products totaled over $500 million back in 2019.
Despite the fact that this is a seasonal product offering, people want their pumpkin spice. So retailers aren't dumb. They want to make sure they're capitalizing on that. So if they roll out the products earlier, that means extra dollars for them.
But it's not all pumpkin spice. Companies like Mrs. Meyer's creating a limited edition of scented cleaning supplies, including apple cider and acorn spice that are also flying off the shelves.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Malcolm Byron.
Well, Lincoln was lucky enough to get some rainfall last night. Unfortunately, not enough to replenish what we really need in the soil. But how much you saw depends on where you live in town. Generally speaking, the farther northeast you go, the more rain you saw. And admittedly, these are Doppler radar estimated rainfall totals, and these are overestimates. So generally speaking, probably in the ballpark of 3/4 of an inch is what we saw in the northeast part of town. Even out towards Waverly, folks out there probably saw closer to an inch. In the southwestern part of town, even over here at Channel 8, probably saw in the ballpark right around 1/4 inch of rain, maybe even just a little bit slightly less. We got 2/10 of an inch officially at the airport, more of the same out in Beatrice as well, but these were only scattered showers and thunderstorms last night. A lot farther to the west didn't see anything at all, but the winners for rainfall were just off to the north in Polk and Butler counties, some locations out there getting over 3 inches of rainfall. No rain across southeast Nebraska this afternoon, seeing some fair weather cumulus clouds looking southwest over Honda of Lincoln, but we're mostly dry at the moment. Temperatures in the upper 80s to around 90. We're at 90 degrees in Lincoln right now. Some locations in the upper 80s are 87 in Beatrice, 86 York, 86 in Aurora. It's quite a bit cooler from where we were, at least for high temperatures this time yesterday. So far, 90 is the highest I've seen in Lincoln. We were at 99 degrees yesterday. Factor in the humidity, feels like the mid-90s right now. 96 in Lincoln, 95 Beatrice, 90 out in Grand Island, 91 the feels like temperature in Hastings. When you factor in the humidity tomorrow, with temperatures perhaps going into the upper 90s once again, we have another heat advisory in effect from 1 o'clock tomorrow until 8 o'clock for the counties shaded in orange here. Even if you're not in these orange shaded counties, let's say you're out towards the Tri-Cities or just to the north, perhaps in Polk and Butler counties, still going to feel hot nevertheless, but peak heat indices could be anywhere between 102 and 108. We see some rain off towards the north and northwest though, but the general trend is that this is going to stay to the north and northwest. As we take a look at Stormcast into the overnight hours, we see some scattered showers and thunderstorms mainly off towards the north. Now tomorrow morning, winds are going to shift out of the south, and that's going to allow a couple of isolated showers to be possible out towards the Tri-Cities, but it's looking like Lincoln is going to be mostly dry. As we head into tomorrow afternoon, the southeast part of the state is remaining mostly dry, but more showers and thunderstorms are in the northern part of the state, and that's where they're more than likely going to remain tomorrow night. But as we get towards Friday, a cold front is going to approach, so by Friday evening, I anticipate that we'll have a line of showers and thunderstorms develop, and I think this is going to be at least our next best chance for rain in the short term. Aside from that, Sunday looks like it's our next best chance for rain after that. For tonight, 72 degrees, mostly clear skies in southeast Nebraska. Feeling humid outside, a southeast wind around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Winds are back out of the south again tomorrow, south around 10 to 20 miles per hour, perhaps gusting up to 25 miles per hour rather. 99 degrees is the forecast high, mostly clear with the heat index exceeding 100 degrees. Let's look at your 10-day forecast. We're going to have some evening storms on Friday to kick off the Nebraska State Fair, so keep that in mind if you're heading out west for that. Still going to have a heat index on Friday. As you take a look at the weekend forecast, 94 degrees on Saturday. It looks like we may have some storms late, perhaps even going into the overnight hours on Saturday. Our next storm system arrives sometime Sunday morning. We're going to have scattered storm chances for then, and those may linger into Monday as well. Right now, it's looking like things should start to dry out as we head towards the middle part of next week.
Ooh, going to be hot for the state fair, huh? All right, thank you very much, Malcolm. And now we will cover the nation this evening. Imagine having a 6-foot boulder crash through your house late at night.
In Hawaii, a man says it sounded like an earthquake when a massive rock crashed into his neighbor's home.
The next thing I heard was just loud crash. I mean, boom. So I figured when I opened up my door, this house was down. I thought this house imploded.
Yeah, look at that. The boulder, measuring roughly close to 6 feet tall, crashed into the home and then plummeted onto the sidewalk.
Look at this. I mean, you could just only imagine the poundage and the pressure.
It's unclear exactly where the boulder came from. Currently, the home's residents are seeing how to get the rock removed and whether anything else is loose on the cliff. Thankfully, there were no injuries reported. In Minnesota, the record holder for tallest man in the U.S. has died from heart disease.
Igor Vovkovinsky, who is Ukrainian native, I tried, moved to Minnesota for medical treatment as a child. Now the community remembers him for more than just his height.
Dubbed the tallest man in America, Igor Vovkovinsky made Rochester his home at just 7 years old. At that time, in 1989, he was already 6 feet tall.
This is a picture of Igor when he was in 5th grade with all the other kids who were in my class. If you look at him, you cannot tell by looking at that picture that he was so tall. And that's kind of how he felt in the classroom.
His growth, caused by an issue with his pituitary gland, never seemed to slow him down.
Well, we got a lot of looks as we would walk into the gymnasium. Igor captured those people's attention, of course, but he was always embraced by everybody that he was around.
But those who knew Igor,
it wasn't always about his height, it was about him as a person.
Remember him for more than just his size.
He's a very caring individual and somebody who was so appreciative of just the simple things that so many of the rest of us take for granted in life, whether it be walking through a doorway or having a pair of shoes that fit just right. We always refer to him as the gentle giant, but he was also kind of secretively very, very passionate about other things in our community, and oftentimes was volunteering or giving back.
Every time I saw him, he would give me a big hug. And, you know, he's towering above me, giving me this hug. He was absolutely adorable, and he was that way with everybody.
His death, not just a loss felt by his friends and family, but the entire Rochester community.
I really have watched what he's done, and I've been so proud of what he's done.
That embraced him, and he embraced right back.
It feels like home to us now, yeah.
To hear that news was very heart-wrenching for us as a JM community, and I think as a community as a whole in Rochester. Igor kind of held a special place in all of our hearts.
And Igor was just 38 years old.
Small improvements on Wall Street today. The Dow was up 39, NASDAQ gained 22. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source.
Tonight, after the powerful testimonies,
get to the bottom of what happened.
The January 6th investigation has begun. What happens next? Plus,
brought us back to our senses. You know what I'm saying? I never did finish it.
Candyman.
Don't say that.
I knew about the urban legend of Candyman and about saying his name 5 times in a mirror, and I made sure that I never did that. Now, when it comes to watching the film, and I never watched it because I think maybe it's because being a Black man in America, I just experienced enough, trauma on the daily basis, so I stayed away from it. But once I got cast, and I knew that what Jordan Peele was doing with this spiritual sequel, I wanted to go to the source material and really check it out.
Directed by Nia LaCosta and co-written by Oscar-winning screenwriter Jordan Peele, the movie is more than simple horror.
I thought we had a great opportunity to show this young Black, very ambitious couple. And when we start off, we see the love they have for each other, the encouragement, and then to watch how they deal with things that may go awry.
You're looking for Candyman. He's the monster that's part of this neighborhood.
Watching with the lights on in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
We should try that, Megan.
I'm not a fan of scary movies.
By the way, the Candyman creeps into theaters this Friday. What about you, Malcolm?
Would you watch it?
I don't know about that. Maybe in a couple months, but yeah.
Ooh, during spooky season, like October?
Yeah, well, actually, that's the perfect time to do it. If you're venturing outside this evening, though, perhaps you'll deal with temperatures in the upper 80s to around 90, so a little warm outside.
All right, thank you, Malcolm, and thank you all for joining us.
World News is next. We'll see you back here at 6.
With the Channel 8 Eyewitness News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
We're up before the sun, so we can make breakfast for our friends and family. Hot off the griddle, fresh as can be.
Closed captioning on Channel 8